So we're about 1/4 of the way through the NBA season now, as the season is 72 games long this year, and pretty much every team has played around 18 games or so. And even though there's still so much basketball left to be played, we can still use this data we have early on to put into perspective who have been the best players in certain categories to this point. With that being said, for today's video, we'll be giving out every major player award as if the season were to end today, along with naming the two closest runners-ups for each award as well, basically just as a way to take note of how each award's race is going at this point in time. We'll be going through the most improved player, the sixth man of the year, the rookie of the year, the defensive player of the year, and then finally the MVP of the league. Before we get started though, it turns out about 67% of you watching right now aren't even subscribed to the channel, so please, if you enjoy the content, consider hitting the subscribe button, as not only does it help out a ton, but I would also very much appreciate it. Now, with that being said, let's begin. The first player we'll be discussing is the most improved player, and for this one there are quite a few worthy candidates battling it out, but my choice here is Christian Wood of the Houston Rockets. Christian Wood was my preseason pick to win this award, and so far this year, his breakout has been everything I imagined it could be and more. He's averaging about 24 points and 11 rebounds per game, he's shooting 55% from the field and 38% from three, and his ability to score the basketball in such a wide variety of ways has been key to the Rockets re-emerging after the James Harden trade, as they're now back to a 500 record and are definitely trending upward. Wood has a legitimate argument to be named an all-star this year, which is crazy to think about when you consider how much talent there is in the Western Conference, and because of all of this, he is who I believe is leading the way for most improved right now. As for the runner-ups at this point in time, the two that are just behind Wood in the running right now are Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics and Jeremy Grant of the Detroit Pistons. Jaylen Brown has been someone with tremendous potential for years now, and especially in the games where Jason Tatum was out, Brown took it upon himself to elevate his play this season, and on the year as a whole, he's been nothing short of a star, scoring a highly efficient 27 points per game, playing strong defense, and keeping the Celtics afloat. Then for Jeremy Grant, his move to the Pistons allowed him to step into a more go-to offensive role for the first time in his career, and he's surprised everybody to this point, showing off an ability to handle this role far better than most anticipated, while also averaging an efficient 24 points per game. The race is close, but from looking at where these players were a year ago to now, Wood has improved the most. The next award we'll be discussing is the Sixth Man of the Year award, and my leader at this point in time is Jordan Clarkson of the Utah Jazz. The Jazz have been on an unbelievable run lately and find themselves in second place in the Western Conference standings at the moment, and while there are a lot of factors playing into that, Clarkson's bench production has been a huge factor for them. Clarkson is averaging about 18 points per game off the bench while shooting 46% from the field and 38% from three on pretty high volume, and especially considering the fact that he's a shot creator that operates mostly off the dribble, his reliability and consistency is definitely impressive. The one major knock on Clarkson throughout most of his career has been how inconsistent he used to be, so the fact that he's now found a home in Utah where he's playing his best basketball shows how far he's come. As for the runner-ups here, the two players that are on his tail and definitely not far behind in the running are Chris Boucher of the Toronto Raptors and Goran Dragic of the Miami Heat. Boucher is neck and neck with Clarkson right now, but I gave Clarkson the edge because he's performing for one of the better teams in the league, while the Raptors are still underperforming overall. Boucher, however, is emerging as one of the most versatile big men in the league, as his ability to protect the rim, knock down threes, and finish at the basket has been huge for them as they look to turn things around. As for Dragic, he's probably a more distant third place right now, but he is still putting up about 16 points and 5 assists per game and having a solid year of his own. The next award we'll be discussing is the Defensive Player of the Year award, and my choice at this point in time is Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers. The defending champion Lakers may not seem like their dominant selves yet this season, and at times it feels like they're not trying their hardest, but on the defensive end of the floor, that's just not the case, and the team's absolutely dominant defense has still been on full display, ranking #1 in the league. Anthony Davis is at the forefront of a lot of their success here, and anchoring the best defense in the league will always give you a good case for Defensive Player of the Year. However, this is yet another award that is very close, as his two runner-ups are just barely behind him, with those two players being Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers and Miles Turner of the Indiana Pacers. Miles Turner is having a ridiculous season on defense, blocking about 4 shots per game, which easily leads the league, and he also has the 3rd best defended field goal percentage in the league, meaning that the field goal percentage he holds his matchups to is the 3rd lowest overall. However, the Pacers as a team are only a middle-of-the-pack defense, and the true mark of a Defensive Player of the Year is when he impacts the team as a whole, so that's what holds Turner back from me. As for Embiid, there is literally a night and day difference when Embiid is on the court versus when he's off the court for the team, and with the Sixers also ranking in the top 5 in the league defensively, a lot of it is attributed to Joel's presence in the middle. The next award we'll be discussing is the Rookie of the Year award, and the winner here at this point in time is LaMelo Ball of the Charlotte Hornets. This year's rookie class has admittedly been a bit underwhelming compared to classes in recent history, and the Rookie of the Year race definitely also falls under this category, but that doesn't mean there aren't players to be excited about. LaMelo Ball has been incredibly fun to watch on a nightly basis, and you can see him getting more and more comfortable with each passing game, despite still coming off the bench. His natural floor vision and passing ability has been on display with his 6 assists per game. He does well rebounding for a guard, as well as he grabs 6 boards per game, and his ability to score from all 3 levels may not be consistent yet, but it's shown promise on his way to 12 points per game. If he ever wins over the starting job, we could see him blossom even further, but for now, he's still leading the rookie pack. As for the runner-ups here, the 2 players in the hunt behind him are Tyrese Halliburton of the Sacramento Kings and James Wiseman of the Golden State Warriors. Halliburton has been proving so many people wrong about his game after he dropped out of the top 10 on draft night, and off the bench for the Kings, he's been one of the most steady and reliable players on the whole team. He's been a great two-way player who brings more poise and confidence than most rookie guards you see. He's been playing efficient basketball, and his impact has definitely been felt all around. Wiseman's been more inconsistent as a rookie, holding down the middle of the court for the Warriors, but every now and then he'll display why the team is so high on him and his potential, because he really does have a chance to be something special down the line. And finally, the last but certainly not least award we'll be discussing today is the MVP award, and right now, my choice here is Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers are currently the best team in the Eastern Conference, with a 3-game cushion between themselves and the next closest team in the standings, and Embiid has been at the forefront of almost all of their success. The Sixers are currently 1-4 in games that he misses, and 12-2 in games that he plays in, and the eye test backs up everything you might be thinking about the difference here. Embiid is dominating both ends of the floor. He's been fully unleashed in the post, averaging more post-ups per game than anyone else in the league, while also ranking as one of the most efficient post players in the league, which makes for a deadly combination, and the added floor spacing around him on the team has allowed him to play to his strengths on a more consistent basis. He's averaging 28 points and 11 rebounds per game, while shooting 54% from the field and 40% from 3, both of which are career highs, and when the Sixers need a basket, he's come through for them time and time again when it matters. Now, with all of this being said, the MVP race is as tight as ever at this point in time, with Nikola Jokic and LeBron James right behind him. Jokic has an equally good argument for MVP right now, but the reason I go Embiid over him is because Embiid's impact has led to the Sixers being in first place, while the Nuggets have a slight slightly worse record. Jokic's production is historically great so far, putting up about 27 points, 12 rebounds, and over 8 assists per game, while scoring highly efficiently, and his ability to carry an offense cannot be understated. Then with LeBron James, he's pretty much just doing LeBron James things as he always does, leading the Lakers to one of the best records in the league, putting up impressive numbers as always, and still somehow not falling off at age 36. All in all, this has been a competitive and tight season with so much more in store, but right now, this is where each awards race stands. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below who your picks for each award are. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.